So we're gonna do a reformer ball exercise today. So go ahead, grab a ball. We're gonna start on a red and a blue spring. And that might be a little heavy for some just because we're gonna do some arm work with the red and the blue. So if you need to switch to a red and a yellow or just a red spring, once we get into our arms, you can go ahead and swap those springs out. So we're gonna start with our foot bars up. We'll lie ourselves all the way down onto our reformers. And when we lie down, we're just gonna take the ball in between our knees to start. Now, once we get the ball in between the knees, head rests are gonna be all the way down. Arms are just gonna start nice and long at our sides. And we're just right into our neutral spine, so we have that nice little space in between the low back and the mat. Let's go ahead and we'll just start with a quick little breathing exercise. So we're gonna take a deep inhale, and as we inhale, we're gonna feel our ribs just expanding out to the sides of the room and into the mat underneath us. And then on our exhale, we're just gonna let our ribs naturally fall back together. And again, deep inhale, just feeling our ribs expanding. And then deep exhale as we let the ribs naturally drop back together. Now think as you inhale and as you exhale, just trying to find that center line of the body and notice if anything is off from that center line. So maybe you have a little more weight into one shoulder than the other. Notice if your head kind of nods from the right side to the left, or maybe you have a little more elevation into one hip than the other, just making those small little corrections as we breathe. Again, think in through the nose and then out through our mouth. Let's just do a couple more deep inhales. And then last one, deep inhale and deep exhale. Well, let's take another inhale in our neutral spine. On our exhale, we're just gonna go ahead and roll ourselves into our 12 o'clock position. So we're flattening the low backs down into the mat. And then on our inhale, let's roll into our 6, finding that nice little arc. And again, exhaling as we roll into our 12. And then inhale as we roll back into our 6. So then we'll just continue to go back and forth from our 12 to our 6, just thinking about warming up our low back as we rock it back and forth. And let's go ahead and do one more 12. One more 6. And then from our 6, we'll just go ahead and bring ourselves right back into our neutral spine. Ball again is just right in between our knees. Our heels are going to be on the foot bar if they're not already. And then arms, again, just nice and long at our sides. Let's take an inhale back into our neutral. On an exhale, we're going to squeeze the ball. And as we squeeze the ball, we're going to flatten our low backs down into the mat and just begin to peel our spines up off the carriage. Take an inhale at the top, and then on your exhale, we're going to articulate our spines all the way back down one vertebrae at a time. Now, we are on a lighter spring, so it's going to be a little more challenging to hold our carriages in. So if you need to, if your hamstrings cramp up too much, you can always take your feet right underneath the foot bar, and you can do your bridges here. We're just going to continue to go. Inhale at the top. And then exhale as we roll the spines all the way back down. So again, heels wherever you feel comfortable. Exhale, flatten the low backs down, peel the spines up, try to keep that carriage still. Pause at the top for an inhale, and then exhale, articulate the spines all the way back down. Inhale right back into our neutral. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, flatten, peel, squeeze the ball. Take an inhale at the top. Exhale, articulate the spine all the way back down into the mat. Inhale, come right back down into our neutral. And then last one, exhale, flatten, peel, squeeze. Inhale, and then exhale, articulate our spines all the way back down. Now, once we come back down and come back into our neutral, keep the heels on, we're gonna go back up into that one bridge, and this time we're gonna hold ourselves up here. So on an exhale, flatten the low backs down, peel the spines up, hold here. On an inhale, we're gonna press our carriage out, keep just a micro bend to our knees, so we're not going fully extended, and then exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, press away. Use those hamstrings and glutes to pull you back in. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. Again, if you get way too crampy here with your hamstrings, take your feet underneath the foot bar, and you can do the same presses on that wooden platform. Inhale out. exhale in. Let's do 2. Last one, out and in, and then on our exhale, just roll the spines all the way back down into the mat, and then just come right back into our neutral. Now, once we come down, take the ball underneath your right knee. Your left heel is going to stay on the foot bar, and we're going to go in for some unilateral bridges. So we'll take an inhale first. On our exhale, flatten the low backs down into the mat, peel the spines up, take an inhale, and then exhale, articulate one vertebrae at a time to come right back down. Inhale in our neutral, exhale, flatten and peel the spines up. Holding at the top for an inhale, exhale, articulate all the way back down. Inhale right back into our neutral, and then the last one, exhale as we flatten and we peel. Again, we're gonna hold up here. Inhale, press the left leg out, keep a little bend to your knee, pull back in. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. Feel that glute, feel that hamstring. We're gonna go for 3, 2, 1. In, and then evenly weighted throughout the right and the left side as we roll our spines back down. Good. Once we come down, take that ball out. Feel free to give that left leg a quick little stretch before you put the ball underneath. And then the ball can go right underneath your left knee. Right heel is going to come onto the foot bar. Take an inhale again in our neutral spine. On that exhale, flatten the low backs down. Start to peel the spine up. Hold at the top for an inhale. Think evenly weighted throughout that right and the left side of the body as we roll it down. Inhaling in our neutral, 2 more. Exhale, flatten and peel up. Feel that right side working to get us up. Inhale, pelvis is even, and then roll the spines all the way back down into the mat. Last one, and we're gonna stay up there. Exhale, flatten and peel. Hold at the top. Inhale, press out. Exhale, pull in. Again, think that pelvis just stays nice and still and even as we push. And as we pull, feel that right side working as we press, and then as we pull back in. Out, in. 3, 2, 1. And then roll our spines all the way back down into the mat. All right, feel free, give that right leg a little stretch. You can take that ball out from underneath the left. Take your legs over the foot bar, and then once you get your legs over the foot bar, ball is going to be into the hands, and we're just going to reach our arms nice and long up to the ceiling. We're going to move into some roll-ups. If you do have a stiff spot in your back, the foot bar being up makes it a little more challenging. So if you need to hook one leg underneath the foot bar, one leg over, that's going to help get you up for those stiff backers. We're going to take an inhale first. On an exhale, let's nod the chin to the chest, peel our spines up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, and then on our exhale, let's tuck and roll our spines all the way back down into the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale once we come down. Exhale again, nod the chin to the chest, peel the spine up. Inhale at the top, and then exhale, tuck, roll one vertebrae at a time back down. Inhale, let's do 2 more. Exhale, nod and peel. Inhale at the top. Exhale, work on that articulation as we roll our spines all the way back down into the mat. And then last one. Inhale at the top. And then exhaling as you roll it all the way back down. Here, we're gonna take the ball and we're gonna put it right underneath our sacrum. Now, this is the time, if you do need to lighten your springs up for this, feel free to take the blue off and swap that out for yellow, or just to do a red spring. We will use our long loops today just to make it a little lighter. So we'll take our ball, feet are on the foot bar, we're gonna lift our hips up, it's gonna go right underneath our sacrum, so in that lowest part of your back, right above your tailbone. And then once we get it there, just make sure that it is center. And if you don't feel comfortable on the ball, you do not have to use the ball. We're gonna reach back, grab our long loops. Arms are just gonna reach nice and long up to the ceiling. Think hands are directly over your shoulders. And then I just want you to think about stabilizing from your core on this ball. So we'll go one knee at a time up into our tabletop position. Legs are zipped together. On an exhale, we're just gonna press the arms straight down to the mat. And then on our inhale, reach straight back up. Exhaling as we pull down, and then inhaling as we return. So we're feeling our lats engaging as we press, Inhale, return. Exhale, pull. Inhale, return. Now if you want to add in a little more challenge with your stability, when you press down, you can extend your legs out, and then you can return back. Exhale away, inhale back. Think as you exhale and you press, draw your abdominals in towards your back. We're going to go for 2. Last one. And then return. Now press your arms all the way down, keep your knees in tabletop. On an inhale, we're going to open our arms just out to a T. And then on our exhale, we'll press the palms to the hips. Inhale, open out to a T. Exhale, palms to the hips. Now, same thing if you want to add in a little challenge. When you open the arms, you can reach the legs out for a double leg stretch. And then exhale, pull it back in. Inhale, open. Exhale, pull back. Feel those lats, feel those biceps engaging on that press. Think about drawing your abdominals in to pull your knees back. Inhale, exhale. Let's go 2, 1, press and hold. Now, bend our elbows for our tricep press. Exhale as we press down. Inhale, bend. Again, if you want to add in those legs, feel free. If you want to go one leg at a time, you can go one leg out and in. It is up to you. And you can always keep your knees in tabletop. We're going to do 3, 2, 1, and then return. All right, feel free to relax the feet down, adjust that ball underneath you if you need to. We're going to reach our arms straight back up to the ceiling. Knees will just draw right back up into that tabletop position. We're going to do some arm circles here, so let's press the arms all the way down to the mat. We'll open them out to the sides to circle them around and back up. Exhale, press. Inhale as we open and we circle. If you want to add in your legs extending out, you can always hold them out there, or you can bend them in and extend them out. Up to you. Now on this next one, hold it at your hips. Reverse those circles. Go up to your shoulders, out to a T. Exhale, press to the hips. Inhale up, open, exhale, press. 3, 2, 1, press, and then bend the knees, bend the elbows. Now, let's reach our arms and legs straight up to the ceiling. On an exhale, we're going to lower the arms and legs straight down. Inhale, lift the arms and legs back up. Exhale, lower the arms and legs down. Inhale, lift. Think draw your abdominals in as you lower. Inhale, lift. We're going to go for 3, 2, 1, and lift. Now, just lower your arms. Keep your legs straight up to the ceiling. Inhale, just lower your right leg down towards your foot bar. Exhale, lift that right leg back up. Inhale, lower the left leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower right. Exhale, lift. Feel those obliques working on the lower, and then engaging the obliques on the left. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one on the left. Pause at the top. Inhale, lower both legs. Exhale, lift both legs. Inhale, lower. Draw the abdominals into lift. Lower, lift. Think reaching through the fingertips. Last one. Bend the knees, arms up, feet down. Take that ball out, and we're going to place it now in between our knees. Now once you guys get it in between the knees, keep the long loops in your hands. Arms are going to reach straight back up to the ceiling. Our knees will draw right back up into a tabletop position. Heels are clicked together, and we're going to move into ab curls now. So same thing, if you need to lighten your springs, feel free to lighten that load. On the next one, we're going to press curl up into an abdominal curl. And then we're going to inhale and return back down with control. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest, curl up from our brow line, and then inhale as we return. Exhale, press curl, inhale, return. So we want to think we're keeping like a kiwi or a lemon in between our chin and our chest, curling up from our brow line, and we should feel that curl coming from our rectus
abdominis, so those superficial abdominal muscles. Let's do 2, 1, and then we can return and just relax the feet. Ball is going to go underneath our right knee this time. Right knee is going to come up into a tabletop position, arms straight up to the ceiling. Left knee up into tabletop as well. On an exhale, we're going to press curl up right back up into our abdominal curl. We're going to hold. Inhale, dip the right toes down, and then exhale, lift the right knee back up. Inhale, dip the right. Exhale, lift. Now, if that neck is ever an issue, you guys can always relax your head down. Otherwise, stay in that curl. Think hinge at the hip to keep that ball underneath your knee. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. Reach to those fingers. Stay in that curl from that brow line. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and then arms up, head down. Relax the feet. Take that ball. It's going to go underneath our left knee. Both arms are going to reach straight back up. Our right knee is going to come up into tabletop as well. And then on an exhale, we'll curl back up into that abdominal curl. We'll hold. Inhale, dip the left toes down. And then exhale, lift. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. I'm bringing my toes out just a little further to the left side just to avoid those springs so I can get a full range of motion here. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. Dip. And again, if that neck is an issue, head can go down. Feel that rectus abdominis keeping you up in that curl. Reach the fingers. Feel those left obliques working to dip and lift. 3, 2, 1, arms up, head down, and then again relax the feet. Now take that ball in between both knees, reach the arms straight back up to the ceiling, knees back up into our tabletop position, heels are drawn together. Exhale, come right back up into our abdominal curls, hold. Now inhale, dip both toes down. Exhale, lift both knees up. Hinge at the hips to dip. Exhale, lift. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. Think about drawing your abdominals into your back. That 2 inches underneath your belly button is drawing in and up. 3, 2, 1, and then arms up, head down, relax the feet. Take that ball in between our ankles. Now once we get the ball in between the ankles, we'll extend the arms straight back up to the ceiling. Our knees will just draw right back up into a tabletop position. We're going to go back up into ab curls, but we're going to add in our legs this time. So in an exhale, let's press curl ourselves up, extend the legs out. Inhale, so we return. Exhale, press curl, extend. Inhale, return. Good. We're going to go for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then return. Good. Relax the feet. Feel free to give those knees a little bit of a sway if that feels good. We're going to keep the ball just right in between our ankles. We'll extend our arms straight back up to the ceiling, and then we're going to move into our hundreds this time. So knees right up into our tabletop. Exhale, press, curl, extend, hold. So you're pumping those arms. Breathing, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 20. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 60. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 80. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. Bend the knees. Arms up, head down. Relax those feet. And then just feel free to sway the knees. Hang your straps up. Take that ball out. Once you guys take it out, extend your legs right back over that foot bar. Let's do 1 roll up to get up. So reach those arms nice and long. Inhale first. Exhale, nod the chin to the chest. Scoop into the abdominals as we lift. Pause at the top. Send our feet to the side. And then let's go ahead. We're going to take all of our springs off. Once you get your springs off, we're going to let our carriages glide away. And then if you do not have the Allegro reformer, just feel free to keep your foot bars where they're at. If you do, bump your foot bars up to that nice little fixed or that ballet bar position. If you have a chair or a dowel, you can always use that. We're going to take the ball just right in between your knees. Once you get it in between the knees, we're just going to be about an arm's distance away from your foot bar. And then from here, I want you guys to go ahead and just sink down into a nice little squat. Now we're going to hold ourselves in this squat, and then on an exhale, I just want you to squeeze the ball in between your knees. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Feel those quads working. Draw your abdominals into your back. Think nice long spine, lengthening out through the crown of the head. 3, 2, 1, and then stand back up. Good, feel free to stretch forward. We're gonna keep the ball back in between the knees. We're gonna come back down into that squat. We're gonna hold ourselves here. This time, we're gonna just squeeze that ball. Inhale, release, squeeze, hold, little pulses up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1, stand up. Give those quads a little bit of a break. One more thing, keeping the ball here, arms distance away, sink back down into that little squat, hold yourselves here, squeeze the ball, pull forward, and then just extend out. So we're kind of rocking forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. 3, 2, and 1, and then stand up. All right, take that ball out. Go ahead, just set it to the side for now. I'm going to bring my forearms down onto the foot bar, cross over one another, left foot kind of to the center. Our right leg is going to extend back behind us. From here, you can kind of let the hips open out for this one if that feels good. We're going to dip the toes down to the mat. We're going to lift, and we're going to dip the toes down to the floor, and then lift. Dip to the mat, lift, floor, lift. Carriage, floor, carriage, and floor. Getting those right obliques to fire as we dip, and then as we lift, think squeeze that glute. Good. One more out. One more to our carriage. Bend your right knee, set that back down to the floor. Come center with the right foot, extend your left leg back behind you. Hold here, dip the toes to the carriage, lift up, dip out to the floor, and lift. Carriage and floor. Carriage and floor. Again, feel those obliques working. Use that glute to lift that leg. 3, 2, last one, and then set it back. All right, step out of your wells. We're gonna hook a blue spring on, and then again, if you guys don't have the Allegro reformers, you can just keep your foot bars all the way up to the starting position. Stand yourselves onto your reformers. Hands are on top of the foot bar, thumbs are with your fingers when you guys are here. Walk your feet back to the shoulder blocks. And then once you walk back, we're gonna rotate our toes to the right side. Now the feet do not have to be flat up against your foot bar or against your shoulder blocks. We're gonna slide our left hand to the center of the foot bar. Right hand is gonna stay to the side, and we're gonna start with both hands down first. On an inhale, we're gonna press our legs out, and we're gonna let our hips open out to the right as we press. And then on an exhale, we're gonna tuck the pelvis, rotate the hips back down to the floor as we come back in. Inhale, press out, let the hips open. Exhale, round and come back in. Now, if you want to add in a little more challenge with that, when you press away, You can reach that right arm up to the ceiling. When you come in, you can thread the needle under to come back. Inhale out. Exhale, thread the needle to come back in. Feel those left obliques engage. Again, you can keep both hands on the foot bar if you feel more comfortable there. We're gonna go for 2. Last one out. And in. And then once you come back, right hand down, rotate your toes back to the front. Pivot the toes so now we're facing the left. Slide your right hand to the center of the foot bar. Left hand stays out to the side. When we press away, we let our hips open. When we come back in, we tuck round and go back in. Now again, if you want to add in that arm, just to make it a little more challenging, you can thread the needle to come back in. Feel those right obliques. Inhale out. Exhale back. Out. And in. 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. Set that hand down, step yourselves off of your reformers. Stay on that blue spring, put your foot bars all the way down, and then once you get your foot bars down, let's grab your balls. We'll place the balls into your headrest. Lie on your right side. Then when you lie on your right side, take the strap that's right in front of you. It's going to go right onto the long loop. It's going to go all the way through the leg above the knee. And then once we get it there, both knees are going to be stacked right on top of each other. Again, balls underneath the head. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked, and then hands can just be wherever they feel comfortable. Now, think you're just going to stay very still on this one. On an exhale, you're going to lift your top leg up without your pelvis shifting back, and then you're going to lower that leg down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Again, our carriage should be staying nice and still. Lift and lower. Very minimal movement. Hips stay stacked. Shoulders stay stacked. And we're just going to try to get into those smaller glute muscles, glute med and the glute min. We're going to lift for 3, 2. Now this last one we're going to lift and hold. On an inhale, we're going to dip the toes down towards the springs and then lift the knee up. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift. So my knee is in a little bit of an external rotation here as I hinge to dip and then exhale, lift. Again, to feel those smaller glute muscles firing. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. We're going to go for 3, 2, last one, and then relax that leg. All right, once we relax that leg, we're going to stay on this side and we're going to go into some circles. They're going to be more of like hip circles more than anything. So we're going to lift that leg back up. We're going to hold it up here. Same thing as before, dip the toes down. From here, bring the legs back together and then lift back up. So we dip, legs together, lift. Dip, legs together, lift. Feel that glute min now kind of screaming at you. 3, 2, 1, relax, and then we're going to reverse. So we're going to kind of slide the toes down, lift up, and then bring the knees together. Slide down, lift up, together. So again, it's more of like a little hip circle here, head of the femur and that hip socket. Feel that glute min working here. One of those nice little stabilizer muscles. Let's do 3, 2, 1, and then relax. All right, take that strap off of your leg. We'll hang it back up onto our peg. And then we're going to rotate to the other side, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. All right, so take that strap that's right in front of you. Again, it's gonna go around our entire leg, above the knee, the long loop, bending both knees in a 90-degree angle. Our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked on top of each other. And then think very minimal movement of our carriage as we exhale, we lift the top leg and then lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Lift and lower. Feel free to take your right hand onto your hip and you can palpate and see if it's moving. Lift and lower. Starting to fire up those little stabilizing muscles. We're going to go for 3, 2, 1, and then relax. We're going to add in that little dip of the toes. So we'll lift that top leg back up. We're going to hold it up here. On an inhale, dip the toes. Exhale, lift. Inhale, dip. Exhale, lift. Dip and lift. Inhale, exhale. Three, 2, and 1, and then relax. Then we're going to finish off with those circles here. So we'll lift that leg back up. We're going to hold it up here, dip the toes down, bring the knees together, lift back up, dip, legs together, lift. Feel those glute men talking to you here. Lift, dip, together. 2, 1, relax that leg for a second, and then we're going to go ahead and reverse. So we're going to slide those toes down, lift up, bring it together, slide down, lift up, and together. Last one, and then go ahead and relax that leg. All right, take that strap off, go ahead, hang it on up. Once you hang that strap up, just set yourself off to the side of your reformer. We're going to set the balls to the sides for now. We're going to go onto just a yellow spring, and then we're going to come right onto our hands and our knees facing the straps. Now, once we come up onto our hands and our knees, our hands are going to be on the frame of the carriage, and then I'm going to walk my hands a little further out than where I would usually be, so they're not over my shoulders. They're about a foot further out. We're going to curl our toes underneath us, and we're going to do some planks here today. So we're going to lift the knees up, we're going to stretch forward. If you need to adjust here, you can always adjust by sliding your hands or your feet a little further back or forward, and then on an exhale, we're going to bend the knees, pull them in towards our hands, inhale out. Exhale, tuck and pull, inhale out. We're going to go 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Feel free to stretch back. We're going to do the same thing now, but we're going to finish off with our pikes. So again, hands are out, toes are curled. We're going to lift the knees up, stretch forward into that plank. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, hike the hips. Inhale out. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Feel free to stretch back. Good. All right, stack your spine back up. We are going to go onto a middle red spring. Take that yellow one off, and then once you take that yellow spring off, grab your ball again. You're going to place your ball underneath your butt. Now, if this is not comfortable for the knees, you do not have to sit on the ball. You can always come kneeling nice and tall, or you can sit on your butt crisscross-legged. All right, So sit yourselves on the ball if it's comfortable. Grab your straps into your hands. And then once you grab your straps into your hands, our arms are just going to be nice and long. Palms are facing back for our plow. On an exhale, we're going to press our palms back. Inhale, return. Exhale, press. Inhale, return. Think sitting up nice and tall, lengthening out through the crown of the head, getting those posterior muscles to fire. 2 more, and then last one. And then return. Now, once we return, bring the elbows right into our sides. I'm going to have my palms rotated towards me. You can have them rotated back, whatever feels best for your wrists. Now, keep a nice flat back. Hinge forward. Draw your core into your back, and then tricep kickbacks. Press back and bend. Exhale, press. Inhale, bend. Again, think lengthening out through the crown of the head. Draw your core into your spine. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. All right, hang our straps up. We'll sit ourselves off of the balls. We're going to keep the balls, we're going to rotate forward, and then I'm just going to switch now to a blue spring instead of that red. That red is going to be way too heavy for myself, but if you are a guy or you want it a little heavier, feel free to stay on the red. Take your balls right back underneath your bums, grab your straps back into your hands, and then again, if this does not work for your knees, you can just kneel nice and tall rather than sitting on that ball. Short loops or long loops, up to you. I'm going to use my short loop since I did switch to a blue spring. Palms are face forward, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, reach your arms out away from you, and then inhale, return. Exhale, lift. Inhale, return. Think as we lift, the shoulders are down, the collarbones are wide. Ball is in between our feet. We're going to knead it in between the feet in a few seconds. So make sure if they're not holding onto it that they are holding onto it. All right, last one. Lift. I want you guys to hold up here. We're going to lift ourselves off the ball and then lower ourselves back down. Lift and then lower. Lift and lower. Keep those arms long. Lift and lower. If this doesn't work for you, just do small little lowers, small little lifts. Small little lowers, small little lifts. 2, 1, and then relax your arms. Sit yourselves back onto that ball. Once you guys sit back down, hang your straps back up onto the pegs. We're going to take our balls out, sit ourselves off to the sides. Let's go 2 outside red springs. Blue can come off, and then foot bars can go back up to that starting position. Once you get your foot bars up, feel free if you want your headrest up, you can always prop them up. We're going to lie ourselves down, and we're going to go into some feet and straps. So we'll take the long loops. They're going to go right onto our feet. Again, feel free to have your headrest up. Legs are just going to be up as high as we can hold our neutral spines. Feet are parallel with each other. And on an exhale, let's just go ahead and lower our legs straight down towards our springs. And then on an inhale, hinge to come back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hinge. Think our ball line stays anchored, sacrum stays heavy, pelvis stays still. Let's do one more. Lift, and then pause. Now, come into our Pilates stance, so heels are together, toes are turned apart. Lower your legs back down towards your springs. Hold. On an inhale, we're going to open the legs out to the sides of the room. Exhale, stay in the same plane, draw the heels back together, and then inhale, hinge to come back up. Now this next time, we're going to lower, and we're going to open and close our legs for 2. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last one, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, hinge, come back up. Next time we lower, we're going to open and close for 3. So I just want you to add on 1 each time you lower your legs, and we're going to make our way all the way up to 6. And then hinge, come back up. So next time we're down for 4. Again, I think when you open and you close the legs, you're trying to stay in that same plane. So I like to think if my heels were on a shelf, I'm just dusting that shelf off. 5 times. Feel those adductors fire. And then I'm on 6 right here. Now, once you guys do bring your legs back together, just lift your legs up to about a 45-degree angle, maybe a little lower than that. Stay in your external rotation. On an inhale, we're going to bend our knees in for our frogs, and then exhale, stretch the legs back out. When we bend in, just make sure that we're not collapsing into our low backs. Inhale, bend, exhale, stretch. Bend and stretch. 3, 2, 1. Stretch and hold right into our Peter Pans. Let the right leg open. The left knee is going to bend just like your frog. Exhale, press back center. Left leg opens, right knee bends. Press back center. Think about that pelvis staying nice and still for our Peter Pans. So as we open our right leg, the left hip stays anchored. As we open the left leg, the right hip stays anchored. Inhale, open. Exhale, press. We're going to go for 3, 2, 1. Good. Now hold, bring your legs parallel with each other. Lower them a little further down towards the springs. Open your legs wide out to the sides. Circle them around and back up. Down, around, and up. Think holding that neutral spine the entire time. Opening those legs as wide as you can to give them a nice big stretch. We're going to go for 2. Last 1. Pause at the top and then reverse. Stay in that neutral spine. Last 1. And then once you come back up, you can let the low backs go down when you bring your legs up. Bend your knees, let the knees open wide, bring the bottoms of your feet together, and then just hold this little prayer stretch. Heels can be high, they can be low towards your glutes. You can pull the straps, you can press your knees away from you, whatever feels good to finish off with a quick little stretch. And then just taking a few deep breaths, just how we started, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then one more deep inhale, one more deep exhale. Take the straps off of your feet. You can hang them back up onto the pegs. And then once you guys hang your straps up, feel free to sit yourselves up. If you would like to finish off with any other stretch, you can. Otherwise, you guys are all finished. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to ring those notification bells.